Well, I had to make this video is corona safe. Too much? Alright. Better? Oh, I guess we'll need this one. Anyway, what's up guys? It's your boy the Overlord here. Back with another video for you. I decided to do something a little different. I decided to rate my best to least favorite movies in a series. I want to tackle things like Die Hard series or the Harry Potter movies or something like that, or even like Three Ninjas, stuff like that. But what I want to start out with, which is if you can't tell, my favorite movie series, Ninja Turtles. Sorry, I'm a little parched here. Thank you. Excuse me. I don't know if you can tell or not that that's my all-time favorite series or cartoon or comics or all that stuff that I'm deeply into Ninja Turtles. Like if you know me, you know. Even had the Ninja Turtle birthday party when I was a kid. Shout out to the moms for that one. You feel me? Had a Ninja Turtle birthday party. Appreciate that, including pizza and all that good stuff. Cowabunga. You feel me? But I just want to get out a list of my least to favorite, my favorite to least, not least to favorite, my favorite to least favorite ones in the series that they have, and if there's other things that you want to see me tackle as far as different lists, stuff like that, different movies in the series, make sure there's at least 3 of them on there, 3 movies, and I can arrange them how I feel. Might even try to tackle Star Wars. That'd be a big one to tackle, because there's a lot of individual little movies in there. Like some people even add the little holiday special, which I personally haven't seen, but I check it out just to put it into the category with other movies. But let's go ahead and roll it out. Coming in number 1, which I feel should be on everybody's number 1 slot if you're ranking, your favorite movies of the Ninja Turtles. Coming in at number 1 is the first one, the 1990s one. Of course, this is the best one. I don't see any argument. Don't hear any argument. All right, that's what I thought. Cool. The number one, the greatest one. If you haven't shown your kids this, if you're, 20 and up, and you have, kids who are, I shouldn't say 20. I say 30 and up, and you have kids who are, into Ninja Turtles, and you haven't shown them the first one. Shame on you. Especially if you grew up liking them. Come on now, you gotta show them the original. I know there are some cussing. Actually, a funny story about the cussing in that movie. Yeah, I got in trouble for that once. Appreciate that, Raph. Anyway, I digress. So in the first one you get classic Turtles. Then the whole cowabunga thing. You get cute April O'Neil. She's a little feistier than the cartoon. I think she's kind of closer to like the comics a little bit. She's a little feistier. You get Casey Jones in a different light than you do the cartoon. He's not like this. It's like this disheveled kind of stalker vigilante. You get kind of a funny, almost. He reminds me more of a mix between Raph and Michelangelo in the way he does things. He's funny, but he also takes things very seriously, and that's what I liked about his character. His character is very complex. It was very lovable. I like it. You get a good Shredder. The cartoon Shredder, you see him, and he's kind of goofy. He can beat you up, but then he's also kind of whines and cries and complains about things. But this Shredder's a shredder. I'll take out all 4 turtles if I need to right now. Shredder. Like a good Shredder. I like that. You get a good little fight scene between them. Close to the end, you get your classic New York City rat, 4 feet tall, taking out bad guys. That's what they look like. I assume. Never been there, but I heard their rats are bigger than Texas rats, and that's saying something. So, that's a good little mix of characters there working out together. One of my favorite all-time fight scenes in almost any Ninja Turtle movie, I would say, is the one where they go from under the sewer to the top of a building. and the transition is so smooth with it that like you're never like, oh, where are they still, where are they at, or what are they doing, or what's going on. You see, how they like, okay, the Foots get beat up in the streets, even though it was I'll give it to you, it was kind of weird, like the New York streets were empty, even though like I get it's nighttime, but like I'm pretty sure the streets would be completely empty where they wouldn't see, hooded people or masked people fighting 5 foot tall turtles. But hey, I digress. Whatever. Um, Coming in number two, I'd have to say it would go to the TMNT, the 2017, the 2007 version, the animated one, where you finally get to see the fight between Raphael and Leonardo. Been waiting for so long. They've been going at it for years. Decade by this time, over a decade by this time, and you finally get to see him like hash it out. Finally, he's, all right, you want to fight? Let's fight. Let's go ahead and do this. You finally get to see them go at it with each other. Loved it. Loved it. It's one of those popcorn. I'm sticking around for this one. Like, even if sometimes I'll just watch that fight just to be like, that was a good choreographed fight, and the special effects were amazing in that, especially at that time. Because they kind of like took a jump after that, but like it was really good. Fight scene were really good. Solid. The rest of the movie, I liked, because it was a different take of seeing what happens like after Shredder. A lot of them tried to like recreate Shredder or do something with Shredder or whatever, but this one kind of like took where like the cartoon kind of went like after Shredder disappeared or after he was beaten, and you have his apprentice take over. You kind of see what happens to the Foot Clan, what happens to the Turtles after they've beaten their best villain and also like that. You kind of just see what life is like after that, and I feel like they did a phenomenal job with that. Coming in number three, I have Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. That one was like edging for number two spot, but I had to go ahead and give it to the 2007 one just because of the fight scene that you have. But the second movie definitely came in, close, very, very close. We get to see Super Shredder in that, which was awesome. You also get Vanilla Ice with that iconic ninja rap. Which shout out to my boy Nasta for playing that in the club for me one time. That was actually pretty dope. I appreciate that, bro. Shout out, man. Almost nobody knew what it was. Like, I'm the only one like in the DJ booth, like going ham, and everybody's like, whatever. Dope. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love, bro. But you also get to see, how the Turtles were created. We also get a bunch of new characters. You get, Kino in there, who was actually one of the guys in the suits from the first movie, and then he got this spotlight. He was also in the movie Surf Ninjas. I liked him in Surf Ninjas as well as Ninja Turtles 2. But I feel like Surf Ninjas, he got to show his own right. But I really appreciate that. That's pretty dope. Coming in the fourth spot, I'm going to give it to Ninja Turtles 3, aka Turtles in Time. This one I heard is one of the original creators' favorite movie because it kind of like gives them the feel of how the cartoon was, where you get them going on some wacky adventure trying to save April, which this is like the first one where they used the same actress for April twice, because they changed it to whatever the second chick's name was, and then you get her again, which as a kid I thought it was a whole different character because like she cut her hair and she seems different, but it's actually this is the same actress from the second movie. But I had no idea. Then you get Casey Jones back. He doesn't really do a whole lot in that one. It was weird. They had him in there just as a glorified babysitter, but he didn't really do much in his present form. But in his past life, you get him, and he's able to be able to see him kind of act out his prior role and kind of see how that worked out. You get a feudal Japan look. They get to actually have a full on sword fight with somebody else who's using swords. You get like real samurai and ninjas and stuff like that going at it. It's the whole ninja versus samurai thing was pretty cool. I liked how it ended with with Mike, he wanted to stay back. And they're like, no, man, you gotta come back with us. He's like, man, but I love it here. You know, this is our era. People accept us here, whatever, whatever. And he's like, they're like, no, you gotta come back with us. And he's like, I don't want to. And then the whole like, did he come back? You know, whatever, whatever. And then as he descends the stairs, you know, he kind of had that moment with him and his brothers, you know, dancing and acting goofy, and I really enjoyed that. That's pretty dope. I like that a lot. 5 and 6, you can have those Michael Bay atrocities, whichever one you want to list. I don't care. They were both bad for me. Those like, hey, I'm the Ninja Turtles, fight, fight, fight. You know, not really. You know, then they get kidnapped in the first one. Then in the second one, you get Bebo Rocksteady, who are just like farting dick jokes for most of the movie. And in the second one, you get a weird Casey Jones, where like, you know, I don't know if I think he was a hockey player the whole time. I don't remember him like he might have been a vigilante too, but he just like felt like he just got kind of thrown into there, like randomly. He wasn't like, you know, like the Casey Jones we had from the '90s or even from the cartoon, where like it was just I don't know, and he was no homo. He's just too pretty. Like I feel like you know if you're a vigilante and you're actually out there doing your job, you're gonna get beat up a little bit, and you never seen a fight in your life, you know. But and I feel like those turtles were just way too big. You know, they're jumping off of buildings, diving straight into manholes, and they're like 10 times bigger than the manhole. There's no way that was happening. It didn't work for me. It didn't work. And I guess coming at the end at number 7 would have to be like Batman versus the TMNT, which actually I haven't seen, so that's why it's at the end. But y'all know how I feel about Batman. If you don't, check out my top 10 movies I'd rather see than another Batman movie. But I don't really feel it, you know. But we'll see how it works. I heard there was a good fight scene between Batman and Shredder, and also Batman and the Turtles. But we'll see how that works out. I doubt that I'll watch it, just because I'm that big of a non-Batman fan. You know, I don't care for him as a character. It's just he's not that complex for me. He doesn't really do it for me, so that's whatever. But for me, that was my list. I'll definitely get to y'all soon about another compilation of different lists. Let me know what your favorite Ninja Turtle character was. Let me know like your favorite movie, or which movie you can watch, you know, 100 times without it getting old. For me, it's the first one. Or even if you're a fan of the series, you know, the original or the ones that came after it, let me know what your favorite episodes were. For me, original series, I'd say my 2 favorite episodes were Cowabunga Shredhead, where Shredder thinks that he's Michelangelo, and Michelangelo meets Bugman. I'm sorry. If you can't tell, my favorite Ninja Turtle is Michelangelo. I feel like we're simpatico. I feel like we could party. You know, I feel like we'd have a good time. But other than that, it's been your boy the Overlord. I'm out.